So we catch up with Jed and Bardha at the Love is Blind UK reunion, and as I suspected, they didn't get back together. Rarely ever when people say no at the altar do they continue and have a good relationship. I think that the cracks in the relationship were already there, and I felt like them continuing to date after the experiment was only going to exacerbate these cracks because you're no longer in the experiment bubble. Your goal is no longer to get married. You can now take your time. And I think the pressure of getting married is less. So when you're out of the bubble, the rose tinted glasses are off. You now can think more critically about your relationship and whether you're right for each other, period. And I think ultimately, quickly, they came to the realization that it was the experiment aiding their connection and really they're not compatible with each other. Right off the bat, Bardha says that she felt like she was overcompensating for rejecting Jed at the altar. Obviously, she knew that she had to soothe his ego, right? She had damaged his ego and she felt like she needed to now soothe his ego. We already know Jed is very much a dominant person. She's a dominant person. But then with Jed, on top of that, he has a bit of a fragile masculinity in terms of being a traditional man. That's usually what his lane is in. So with that being rejected at the altar, that's like a big hit to his ego automatically. I mean, as a man in general, that was always going to be a big hit to his ego and his masculinity. So I feel like she now felt like she needed to overcompensate to soothe his ego. She basically says that after the wedding, the vibes were off and he wasn't really making an effort. And it seems like she was the only one making an effort in this relationship. And I think she was just kind of like, hold on, like, I'm not the bad guy for telling us more time to marry you. And now this seems like you're not just doing anything. And now you're treating me like I'm an op. So it's just kind of like there's resentment there, but then they're with each other and that he's getting the benefits of having a girlfriend living with him, but she's doing everything. Obviously, we've already established that she's the strong, independent woman that does it all. But I guess now that she is doing everything right, he's letting her do everything. And he isn't giving anything back. Now she's just kind of like, hold on. I just feel like you're taking a piss now. She's still wearing her wedding ring, even though that they're not technically engaged anymore. To, like I said, she's overcompensating to soothe his ego. And I think they were out in the gym or something and he basically asked her to like take the ring off or spin the band around because he didn't want anyone to see him with her with a ring on for people to make assumptions. His whole justification was, they've signed an NDA, no one's meant to know who's married, engaged, etc. And because Essex is a very small community, he's just like, he doesn't want people gossiping and spoiling things, right? And then getting in trouble with their contracts. Come to find out, his ex was in the gym at the time. Bardha didn't know, but after they discussed it, he was like, yeah, my ex was there. So she's kind of thinking like, that's just a bit strange. His justification to that was like, obviously his ex like has got a big mouth, she's probably gonna snitch, which I think is a justifiable reason. But I think Bardha's intuition was basically saying, this man's taking me for an idiot. He's telling me to take my ring off because he's not planning on marrying me and he's not intending on this being a long-term relationship. Because why are you thinking about your contract and what other people are saying before me? Wouldn't you? Because if he intended to marry her, would he really be that pressed if anyone saw him with her with a ring on and getting any ideas? No, he wouldn't. I think it would be very much, it is what it is. But if he was intending to marry her and he was seeing his ex, he probably would have, if he was really intending to take things forward with Bardha, if he really liked Bardha, he'd probably thinking, yeah, I want my ex to see me with this girl with an engagement ring and for her to speculate whether I'm getting married to her or not, because I am. I see both reasons, but to me, I think Bardha's intuition was right. I think she was thinking, this guy's taking me for an idiot. So she takes the ring off and she's just kind of like, okay, you don't want anyone to see me with this ring on my finger? I'm just not going to wear it, period. So then now when they're going out, Jed's now feeling a type of way that she's not wearing a ring because I guess he wants to appear to the other couples that he's in a good place and him and Bardha are still in a good place. And now he feels embarrassed because he's out here with Bardha. They're supposedly in a relationship, but she's not wearing her ring anymore. And it's the same thing. He had no intentions to continue the relationship with Bardha at this point. Resentment stage was already there, but in front of the pod people, he still wanted to appear like he was that guy. They're in a good place. She's wearing her ring. And now he feels embarrassed because now they're looking unserious. People are probably asking, oh, are you and Bardha still a thing? She's not wearing her ring anymore. So yeah, petty, messy, and I think Bardha was just basically like, yeah, this ain't going nowhere. I'm fucking off to Dubai, and she's been there ever since. Period. I respect it. Yeah. I mean, I can understand her wanting to soothe Jed's ego because she felt guilty for rejecting him. But 3 weeks she clocked like, this guy's not even taking me serious. This guy don't respect me no more. He's already got the ick. Let me go. What am I doing here? Jed says that he wishes her the best and everything, and Bardha's basically like, I wish you the best far away from me. Okay. And that was the end of Jed and Bardha. And like I said in my other videos, I think it's the right thing that they didn't get married. I ultimately don't think that they're a match. They both have dominant personalities. I had one comment on my TikTok basically saying that Bardha and Jed should do a partner swap with Maria and Tom from the season before. And maybe that's what they need. I mean, Bardha's in Dubai now, so I don't know how dating out there is for her in Dubai. But yeah, like I said, I feel like this wasn't a match. There were some people that said that they think like maybe Jed had some red flags behind the scenes and Bardha had alluded to some things that were red flags. I mean, the red flag of the whole ex situation and him getting her to hide her ring is a bit of a red flag. I did have a sense because he is a dominant person, he wants a submissive wife, and I felt like him feeling emasculated by Bardha treating him to lunch was a bit of a red flag. But Bardha saying far away from me, like, what's the tea on that? Was it that bad? What's the tea on that, hun? But yeah, I mean, they both weren't compatible for each other. And yeah, I think they should both date people who they are compatible with. I think that will fix the issue for them. Yeah, I gotta hear from you guys. Are we shocked? Are we surprised that this is the end of Bardha and Jed? What do we think the breakdown was aside from what was discussed? Do you think there was other elements? And based on what was discussed, do you think Jed was a bit cheeky? Do you think Jed wasn't taking Bardha seriously and Bardha's intuition was right? Or do you feel like they tried to make it work and it didn't? And that's okay. I gotta hear from you guys.